Hello, my friends. Welcome to this lunar report for the Aquarius New Moon. Whenever you're ready, the timestamps are down below. And while you're here, I'm just going to explain a little bit about what the lunar report is. You can mute this if you already know what it is. While you pick a card, or you can just go to your reading if you're ready. The lunar report is basically meant to be a tapping into lunar energy for whatever wisdom it is that we need at the moment. These are timeless readings, and so you can watch them under any moon. It doesn't really need to be an Aquarius moon or an Aquarius new moon. It just so happens that the wisdom we tapped into and gained from these readings is given through new moon energy under Aquarius. Whenever you're ready, I will catch you at your reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 1, to your lunar report for this Aquarius new moon. What is going on right now that you can take advantage of? We have, wow, uh, the Empress in the middle, front and center. At the root, we have the Two of Pentacles, and we're moving into Judgment energy. So straight away, what I noticed is how this card's number 3, and we have a number 2 here. And although Judgment is 20, it's still 2, regardless of the 0 there. If we're talking in terms of numerology, where we reduce any number despite its digits to a single digit, so 2 plus 0, 2. A 3 flanked by 2s, and so there being this, it feels like this energy of 2 being filtered through the energy of the Empress. And what I see that as is the Two of Pentacles is about weighing different options and really taking the time to not even really, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're taking the time to contemplate it so much as the handling of these energies is taking a lot. It takes a lot for you to contemplate these options, if they're options, or to handle these two energies that you're handling. So some examples could be balancing, work and home, work and school, choosing between 2 jobs, 2 schools, locations, whatever it is. It's whatever it is, 2 things, and the handling of these 2 things it takes a lot out of you, or at the very least, it requires a lot of effort. And it reads to me here like the handling of these energies and you taking or handling them, balancing them, doing this work, whatever this is, has resulted in this Empress energy for you, where either it's turned out really well for you. You handling these energies, like if it's life and school and work, through the course of you handling those things, you've learned how to time manage better, and you've really impressed just examples. you've really impressed your superiors at work with like all that you handle, and so they like give you like a little bonus at like Christmas or something. I don't know, just little things where you handling this in an effective way has resulted in some type of blessing for you. If it's just, I don't want to say just, but it could be on one end of the spectrum, like life experience, where it could be actual physical blessings that you're seeing because of this effort that you're putting in. And what the new moon or what lunar energy is relaying at this moment is pretty much to continue that, because what you're heading into is a judgment for everything that you're going through now. So even if you aren't actually seeing any type of reward or result for this effort, you're heading towards it. Whether the things that this has gained you is visible to everyone else or not, or even to you, just keep going, because you're heading towards an acknowledgement of not only what it is that you're handling, but who it is that you're becoming, have become as a result of it. Judgment is recognition, and it could be internal. So if you really don't recognize the ways that this has made you better, or whatever it is that you've gained from this, you will come to recognize it. You're heading towards a recognition and understanding of just how much it is that you've accomplished, just how far it is that you've come. And if you do recognize it, if you are aware of this effort and all the things that it's gained you, then the recognition that's coming is the recognition of others, whether it's, you know, everyone around you, or everyone at work, if that's what it's about, or school, whatever it is, or just the people who matter to you, or a person, a small group of people whose recognition you really value. So if this is again like a work thing, then your bosses, school, your teachers, whatever the case is. So to kind of bullet point what this new moon is kind of bringing you, it's recognition, but not right now. It's not about you getting the recognition right now. It's about it coming. If you continue on this path where you are maintaining what you're maintaining effectively, or as effectively as you can, and recognizing who it is that you've become, what you've gained because of this effort, or B, just keep on going even if you don't see that, because you're heading towards you being able to see that. I hope that helped. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to this, your lunar report on, or rather, lunar report under this Aquarius New Moon. All right, let's see what we got. Oh man. So we have the King of Cups front and center, and he is flanked by two reversed fives. The Five of Wands upwards shows, it looks like conflict, and yes, it can definitely mean conflict, but it's more so about, like, you are one of these individuals and you are wielding this thing that you have, your wand, you know, what you have to offer, and you're basically putting it in competition or in proximity to other equals like yourself. And so, okay, one way to look at this is like an actor auditioning for a role. And so each of these is an actor, and they, you know, the wand is their talent. And in a perfect world, each of them has an equal chance to get this role. It's just about them showing the producers and the director and whoever's casting, you know, to pick them basically. And another example is like when you are job hunting. These are the people interviewing for the same job, and they're all basically competing for the same spot. And so again, it's you and like competition is kind of the word that keeps on coming through, but it's not competition in the sense that like you're you're trying to say that you're better, or you're trying to come out on top, or you're trying to win. It's more so there is this energy of you in relation to others, and this relation that we're honing in on in this reading being the way that you look at other people, or the way that you engage with others, or if not others, then just people in general, or specific people. So, okay, if either people in general or a specific group of people. So if it's like a specific group of people, it could be like an environment, school, work, whatever the case is. The Five of Wands is highlighting, it's referencing you and what you have to offer and what you do. And this card is basically talking about like something that you do that puts you, again, in proximity to others, and there being some sort of effort or some sort of effort or competition in this environment where you are in proximity to others. And that's coming up reversed. And I digress. Let me just move on to the King of Cups. The King of Cups is an individual who is always depicted isolated. The Master of Emotions, this Master of Emotions, because the Queen is the other, he isolates. I'm saying he because it's king, but we're talking about you. This figure isolates emotionally. I'm wording it wrong because that's making it seem like you can be emotionally distant, and that's, if you are, that's not what we're talking about here. Rather, the King of Cups is someone who, because he is isolated, understands what is his and what isn't. So, because it's about emotions, we're talking about feelings. So, the King of Cups is highlighting either your capacity to do this, or it's advising you to take stock of what feelings are yours, what it is that you feel, so that you can get familiar and you really know what it is that you feel, what's in your heart space, which emotions are yours, so that when you're in proximity to other people, you know what's yours and you know what's theirs, and you do not let other people kind of influence or add to the weight of your feelings, and you kind of doing that like the other way around, like you not taking on anybody else's emotions, you not projecting yours onto other people. And so these two cards, love them together, like the Five of Wands reversed specifically next to the King of Cups upwards, because the Five of Wands upwards, which is about proximity to others, us in competition, or in, we're just going to stick with competition, in competition with others, reversed, which then kind of takes on the meaning of removing ourselves from that competition, focusing on ourselves, on our wand, on what it is that we offer instead, so that like taking a moment away from the competition in order to kind of, again, take stock of what it is that we are holding, our wand, our offer, what we're bringing to this situation, basically. And the King of Cups, again, supports that in isolating to understand what is us, where that begins, where that ends, so that we have a clear kind of border line of, again, what is ours, so that other people, when someone else comes to project what they're feeling, when someone else comes to kind of add to you, to your weight, you can kind of be like, no, 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 that I don't actually feel that way. I'm just kind of influenced a little bit by that, or whatever the case is. And the Five of Cups, kind of at the end reversed, echoes that beautifully. And why do I mean that? The Five of Cups upwards depicts a person focused on spilt cups, but there's always two cups standing behind them. Reversed, then we are focused on the still standing cups. So, if this card is talking about us in proximity to others and the influence that those people have on us, the King of Cups is advising that we understand what is ours, who we are, so that then we aren't influenced. We can rebuff anything that other people are trying to bring our way. And so the Five of Cups reversed is then taking, like, no longer focusing on these things that aren't really ours and focusing on what stands, on what there is to focus on. And there's less cups standing than there are spilled. And so there's less to focus on than what we're leaving behind when it's reversed. And so there's this sense of relief, of there being less to worry about, less weighing on us, because we've taken the time to do the work to, again, make or clarify for ourselves what is ours, where we begin, where we end, so that we're not taking on other people's things, basically. And basically, in doing that work, there's relief to be gained. And so what the new moon is creating for you is this opportunity for you to focus, to really not only acknowledge what environments make you feel this way, make you feel like you have to be in competition, or like you have to prove something. And I mean, none of this is saying you have to like completely walk away from this environment, whatever it is for you. Like, again, in the case of an actor, like, just because you didn't get one role, or just because getting this role is like super stressful, doesn't mean you're going to stop acting altogether. It's just, and I'm just using that, whatever the example is for you. The message here is basically saying that it's really important that you take the time right now to get to know yourself and what you feel concretely, so that when you go into these environments, you aren't as easily influenced or pushed or have things projected onto you, because you understand you're coming into these environments fully acknowledging who it is that you are, and knowing that, and in that practice, achieving some type of relief as you learn how to do this. I hope that helped. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to this lunar report on the Aquarius New Moon. Thanks for being here. All right, let's see what we've got for you. Okay, all majors. I need to sit down. I need to take a minute because all I'm gonna say is all of these have been intense. That's all I'm gonna say. And of course, we're ending on an intense note with all majors, and we've got the front and center, the middle one upwards, and the two flanking cards reversed. And it's not just any major front and center; it's the world. And God, we just so much. Like we start with the world, or not even. What am I even saying? Front and center is the world, the culmination of the majors. We have the Magician, which is card number 1. Incredible. Give me a second to read these. I'm being guided to keep it really simple because the message itself is really simple. And I don't even know where to begin. Well, let's start with the beginning right over here on the left. The Magician. Upwards is a card of having all the materials necessary to create what we want to create. Creating what we want to create because we have everything we need. It's the practice, the action of creation because all of the conditions are right. And this is coming up reversed. So not having the materials necessary to create what we want to create, not being able to create because the conditions aren't right. The Hierophant, I'm dealing with the reversals first because you'll see why. The Hierophant upwards is a card of not just any structure, because the card before this is about structure. The Emperor, number 4. And that structure is systems, anything that has been developed over time that we can take advantage of, like society, or any type of structure like education, literally any job, any industry, anything that is done is because of what we've learned, because of the people who have come before us and have put forth what they know into that field, into that industry, and here we are taking advantage of those things. And so the Hierophant takes that one level higher, where it's about systems that permeate single societies and that basically become a part of the way that humanity works. That's really big, I know. But what do I mean by that? The Hierophant is a really fancy word for the Pope. In fact, in old tarot traditions and in other languages, it's referred to as the Pope. And the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church. And so this card is about that type of structure that I'm talking about. That structure elevated. It's not just a social structure religion. It's not just something that is limited to one society like the Emperor is. Religion is something that permeates cultures, and it's something that has lasted, some religions have lasted for like millennia, because is that proper? Millennia is 1,000 years, right? So then it's millennials and thousands of years, let's just say that, okay? And so the Hierophant is this type of deeper level structure, deeper level thing that we all adhere to. And not so much all as in all of the world, but just large groups of people throughout large groups of time. And what I'm seeing, like, the message that's coming through here is that up until now, there has been a lack of materials and proper conditions for the things that you want and or want to create. And not only has there been a lack of materials and conditions for those things, there has also been a lack of faith, a lack of structure necessary, the structure that this energy needs in order for it to come together. And so the Magician is talking about having everything that we need and being what we need to be in order to create what we want to create. And the Hierophant is... Okay. The Magician is the student and the student's intelligence. What the student themselves, you, have within you, your capacity, your talent, your capabilities. The Hierophant are the tools, the education, the path that you can take in order to make proper use of what it is that you have, and then bring these two energies together to create what it is that you want to create. The ultimate card, the world, completion, creation, success. And so, where in the past these things have been unavailable to you, it's now the time has come for these things to come together. So, what could this mean for you? If you've been on this spiritual journey, is one example, and you've been trying to, like, you've been doing research and you've been trying to kind of do accomplish things spiritually in the past, and you've kind of noticed that it might have not worked, or it wasn't as effective as you might have thought, and so you went and started to do more research, and that's kind of what we're talking about, like things that you've tried to achieve that didn't really pan out because of the proper tools, tools and structure necessary to make that happen. And so it's almost like you're going to have to take whichever one of these interpretations is for you. Interpretation A is that now what am I saying? I'm forgetting that this is a lunar report. And so, okay, what is being said, what the moon is trying to say, what the lunar energy is bringing across is that there is an opportunity now that you can take advantage of if you start practicing now, if you start learning and researching now. You'll get to where it is that you're trying to get. You will accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You'll be able to create what it is that you're trying to create. If you've tried to accomplish something spiritually and it hasn't happened, what this message is saying is that you're not a failure. It's not that you can't do it. It's that you haven't learned yet the right way to do it. So learn. Put in the effort, put in the work because it's not even just about researching and creating the structure. It's not just about having what you have. It's about bringing them together. The world is speaking about a union. It's being able to hold both of these really intense things, your talent, your capacity, and the way that you wield it, and also the way that it's known. Clear example that I can give is like, this all feels spiritual to me, okay? Like the message is coming through like this is a spiritual endeavor. But to give you a more mundane example, again, the magician is the student, the Hierophant is the education that student can pursue. And so it's hard to not only hold your intelligence and your capacity and your talent, and it's not just hard to learn things and pass the class and get the grade. There's something magical and remarkable that happens when we're able to do both things individually, but then bonus, both things at the same time. And that's what's being said here, is that it's not that you can't create, it's not that you can't learn, it's that you haven't learned yet how to create the things that you want to create. And so please don't give up, because you clearly, the cards, all majors, look at the beautiful symmetry here. It's basically saying it's within you. You have everything necessary to create what it is that you want to create. The magician still came up. The Hierophant still, like, they're still here. You have the capacity to tap into these energies. You have access to these energies. It's just that you haven't yet. You haven't tapped into them yet. You haven't gained yet what it is that you need to gain in order to get what you want to get. That was all over the place. But I hope that what is being said here is coming through clearly. It's not just about what you're capable of. It's not just about what the things that you have to learn and do in order to make use of these things. It's about holding both of them together, and in doing so, creating your successes, creating what it is that you want. Godspeed and best of luck, because heavy energy. But clearly, you are being cheered on. You are being watched over. You wouldn't be given so much if you didn't have the capacity for it. Best of luck. I'll catch you in the next one.